You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in. All right, you guys. So salute to everybody that's tapping on into the channel, man. Make sure if y'all not subscribed, y'all subscribe, share the video, like the video, and make sure y'all check out the previous video we just put out before this video. I'll put a link to that in the comment section below this video, pinned at the top. Sorry about my voice. Y'all lost my voice arguing with these capping ass people on YouTube, but it is what it is. We got to talk about what's going on right now as Tranny, well-known Tranny, former girlfriend of Eddie Winslow, aka Darius McCray, is now facing life in prison. Again, Tranny uh, and former boyfriend of Eddie Winslow, aka Darius McCray, is facing life in prison right now after being arrested in a bus. Now, basically, what happened is that uh, Sidney Starr, whose legal name is Sidney Favors, uh, was arrested yesterday in Hapeville, Georgia, in connection with an alleged sexual assault involving MINOR, right? Uh, Now, according to reports from the Hapeville Police Department, uh, the tranny is facing multiple severe felony charges of aggravated child molestation, sodomy, sexual battery against a under the age of a 16 leader. So, excuse me, you guys. This incident took place, or the arrest took place, uh, following an incident that was investigated at the Embassy Suites Hotel, located in the 3400 block of the International Boulevard of Hapeville County, or Hapeville, Fulton County, Georgia. Now, he is currently being held in custody at the Fulton County Jail. Also, um, the Hapeville Police Department confirmed that the investigation has been officially handed over to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. Right? Um, Hold on. I'm gonna try to find out if she's in a men's or women's prison. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, oh shit. They got her at the male. They got him, I should say. They got the tranny at the male prison, you guys. Wow, man. So Sidney Starr is currently being processed at the main Fulton County Jail, which primarily houses males, right? Uh, and so, wow, bro. Wow, bro. Wow. That's wild, man. Oh man, bro. Now they're saying due to whole high profile risk, uh, it depends on where they'll place him, whether or not they'll place him. My bad, I had to clear my throat, man. I can barely talk from arguing with these people yesterday. So, is in an all male, manly male uh, jail down in Fulton County, and they'll decide whether or not he is going to be isolated and in protective custody, or put with the um, put in general population, basically. So basically, um, if he is convicted of these felonies and sentenced to prison, right? The placement was shifted to the Georgia Department of Corrections according to the GDC policy 5070468, where Georgia reviews transgender housing on a case-by-case basis regarding physical safety and medical status. However, right, um, the lawsuits, civil rights lawsuits note that Georgia heavily defaults to housing transgenders in male state prisons, even if they're undergone, the surgery to cut off their beefcake. So they're still put into the male, facilities, if sent to prison because of those lawsuits. Once again, the GDC 5070468, Georgia Department of Corrections, uh, reviews the transgender housing on a case by case basis. So basically, it regards physical safety and medical status. However, the civil rights lawsuits notes that Georgia, the state of Georgia, heavily defaults to housing transgenders in male state prisons, even if they've undergone the surgery to cut off the beefcake. Now, if you guys remember, he came out and announced that Eddie Winslow, aka Darius McCray, allegedly paid for the surgery to cut off the beefcake, right? So that was the report, that he alleged that Eddie Winslow paid for his surgery. You know what I'm saying? So apparently he did get his beefcake knocked off. Now, um, it's wild because you go through that, and then in the state of Georgia, especially if you're convicted and sent to prison for the rest of your life, you're going to be locked up in a male prison. Once again, a male prison, right? So for most of the part, for most likely, right? And so that could be very, you know, uh, you know, it's just how the law's going, right? Now, um, back to the arrest and details about the arrest, right? So basically, you guys, this was in a hotel, right? This was in a hotel. It took place again at the Embassy Suites Hotel, located in the 3400 block of International Boulevard in Hapeville, Fulton County. Now, he is currently in the Fulton County Jail. So the Hapeville Police Department, or she, however you want to call it, the Hapeville Police Department confirmed that the investigation has officially been handed over to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution, right? Now, basically, Sidney Starr is a known transgender that was popular in Love and Hip Hop and the Zeus Baddie show, whatever you call it, and famous for as well, Eddie Winslow, the relationship with Darius McCray. If you guys remember Darius McCray and them, they went on No Jumper, and they did an infamous interview on No Jumper, and it was just, I mean, I threw up. I just be honest with you, bro. When I saw that interview was on, I threw up, bro, because that was the first time I had seen this person, and I didn't know that that was a man until they started talking about it on that episode. I never paid attention to this person. So on that episode, when I saw that this was a man, I threw up because I was like, "Yo, what's going on with Eddie Winslow, bro?" So I seen him on that No Jumper interview. So that really fucked me. That messed me up because I was thinking like, "Damn, this what Eddie Winslow out here, like he on that." So it like messed up my whole thought process about what I thought about Eddie growing up, just watching Family Matters and stuff like that. Because Eddie used to be a dude who was a teenager, our age, macking the honeys. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen that, I was just like, it just threw me for a whole loop. Like, damn, bro. But now, to tell you the charges that's against Sidney Starr, Sidney Starr faces a minimum of 25 years in prison. Let me repeat that again. Sidney Starr in the state of Georgia is facing a minimum of 25 years in prison and a maximum of life in prison if convicted on these charges. Let me repeat myself again. Sidney Starr is facing a minimum of 25 years in prison and a maximum of life in prison if convicted on these charges. Now, uh, basically, right? Um, Georgia has exceptionally harsh sentencing guidelines for severe sexual offenses, and this falls under that aggravated molestation under Georgia OCGA 1664, right? This is the most severe of Sidney Starr's charges. It carries a mandatory, minimum of 25 years in prison and up to a maximum of life in prison, right? Right? So if a judge chooses a sentence that's less than life, such as 25 to 30 years, the Georgia law mandates a split sentence, which requires the defendant to remain on probation for life upon relief or release, I should say. So basically, if convicted just on that aggravated molestation charge alone, right? Alone, a mandatory minimum of 25 years. And when you get out, the rest of your life is on probation. You never get off probation in Georgia. I like those laws in Georgia because those laws make they strict laws like that. I like those laws. Also, being charged with sodomy, right? Aggravated sodomy. Now, the standard sodomy in Georgia carries a prison term of 1 to 20 years in prison. However, if the prosecution elevates this to an aggravated sodomy due to the victim being a minor, right? Right? Under a certain age, or the act of involving force, the penalty escalates to a mandatory split sentence of 25 years to life in prison, accompanied by a lifetime probation, right? So this dude is fucked. Then this sexual battery against a person, a 16 liter or less. That's the third charge, which general sexual battery is typically handled as a misdemeanor in Georgia. Georgia criminal lawyer notes that if the offense is committed against a youngin under the age of a 16 liter, the crime is automatically elevated to a felony, and that carries an additional 1 to 5 years in prison. So that's the lesser of the charges. And there's no early parole. Georgia sentencing rules for serious violent and sexual felonies severely restrict or entirely eliminate the possibility of early release or parole, and you have the sex offender registry where any conviction of these counts will mandate a lifetime registration as a sex offender under the Georgia law. So this man right here is facing the rest of his life in prison, man. It's over with, bro. I mean, all you got to do is get convicted on one of those two first charges. It's a wrap. I mean, that's 25 years to life. And even if you get 25 years, once you get out, you're on probation for life and you're a sex offender registered for life, right? And so think about this. All they got to do is convict this dude on the low end. All they got to do is convict this dude on one of those two charges. On the low end, you're doing 25 years. To the person who said this is cap, I was never capping. I was never capping. The one thing you're going to know about me, I was never capping, dog. I was never capping, bro. I just told you this, dog. See, y'all think I just come on YouTube saying anything, brother. I don't. I don't come on the internet. I'm not irresponsible, brother. I don't come on the internet just running my mouth, man, just saying anything, bro. That's not how I roll, dog. You might want to, you know what I'm saying, know who the F I am first. Before you start running your mouth and coming on the internet, just talking crazy, you might want to know how responsible I am with putting out information, dog. I don't come out on the internet and just put out anything and say this stuff. I always do my homework. As a matter of fact, since you was talking like that, Since you talking like that and you saying that I'm capping, okay, cool, no problem. I'll put on the screen. Since you say I'm capping, I put on the screen, no problem. And y'all smash the like button, share the videos, y'all come on in. See, these people think somebody wasting their time on the internet, bro. This is why I lost my voice arguing with clowns on YouTube. I ain't gonna keep on arguing with you clowns. Let me tell y'all this right now. I'm just gonna eat for you, dog. I ain't gonna keep arguing with you all day. Now let's put it on the screen for him, y'all. Since he say I'm capping. Reality TV personality and tranny model Sidney Starr, legal name Sidney Favors, was arrested on Sunday, August the 2nd, 2026, in Hapeville, Georgia, in connection with an alleged sexual assault involving a minor. The charges, according to the records from the Hapeville Police Department, Favors is facing multiple severe felony charges, aggravated molestation, and sexual battery against the under 16 leader. Am I lying? Am I capping still, sir? Well, let's look at the time there. Since you say I'm capping, let's look at the location. Since you say I'm capping, right? The incident location. The arrest took place following an incident investigated at the Embassy Suites Hotel located in the 3400 block of the International Boulevard in Hapeville, Fulton County. Current status: she is currently being held in custody at the Fulton County Jail. The Hapeville Police Department confirmed that the investigation has officially been handed over to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office for prosecution. You want me to keep going? I can keep cooking you because you said I was lying. And the one thing I don't like is somebody called me a liar and I ain't lied, bro. I told you. I'm not irresponsible like a lot of these YouTubers. I'm not going to come on the internet and report something unless I got the facts, dog. I'm not going to, bro. If convicted on all charges under Georgia state law, under Georgia law, Sidney Starr faces a statutory mandatory minimum. See, you thought I was capping, nigga. Read the top of your screen. If convicted on all charges under Georgia law, Sidney Starr faces a statutory mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison and a maximum penalty of life in prison, nigga. So who's coming on YouTube capping? Y'all smash the like button. See, when I pull out the facts, they get mad. Because the case is in its earlier stages, a judge has not yet determined her actual sentence. But Georgia has an exceptionally harsh front-end loaded sentencing guidelines for severe sexual offenses. The standard statutory penalties for each felony that she is facing breaks down as the following: aggravated molestation. Under the Georgia OCGA 1664, this is the most severe of her charges. It carries a mandatory minimum of 25 years in prison to a maximum of life in prison. If a judge chooses a sentence less than life in prison, such as 25 or 30 years, Georgia law mandates a split sentence requiring the defendant to remain on probation for life upon release. The hell is wrong with you, dog? Let me keep going. Right? Number two, sodomy, aggravated sodomy. Standard sodomy in Georgia carries a prison term of 1 to 20 years. However, if the prosecution elevates this to aggravated sodomy due to the victim being a minor under and or the act involving force, the penalty escalates to a mandatory split sentence of 25 years to life in prison, accompanied by lifetime probation. And number three, sexual battery against a under 16. While general sexual battery is typically handled as a misdemeanor in Georgia, Georgia criminal lawyer knows that if the offense is committed against a child under the age of 16, the crime is automatically elevated to a felony. This carries an additional prison term of 1 to 5 years. See how people just come on the internet just running their mouth in the comment section, y'all? You niggas think I just come on here wasting my time and stuff, man. What's wrong with people, bro? I don't think that people really understand this, bro. right? I don't think that. And I'm being honest with y'all, man. Right? Then, if you think I'm capping about the conviction, I'll put it right here on the screen. If if he or she or whatever you want to call it is convicted of these crimes, they're gonna be sent to the male prison. I try to tell you this. Nigga, why would y'all come in here and cap about something like that? Just think about that real quick. Why would I come in here and make some shit up like that and lie? Just let's think about that real quick. What reason do I have to come in here and lie? Look at your screen. Right there, future state prison placement, if convicted. If she is eventually convicted of these felony charges and sentenced to prison, her placement would shift to the Georgia Department of Corrections. According to the GDC policy 5070468, Georgia reviews transgender housing on a case-by-case basis regarding physical safety and medical status. However, civil rights lawsuits notes that Georgia heavily defaults to housing transgender women in male state prisons, even if they have undergone gender affirming confirmation surgeries. Now, I already told y'all, she came out and already stated that Eddie Winslow or whatever his name is, Darius McCray, when they were dating, paid to get her beefcake knocked off. He paid for that surgery. So even though he got that surgery, whatever, remember, you were born a man. I think that's what the law is saying. So I think the law in Georgia is saying if you were born a man, you go into male state prison, even if you chopped your beefcake off. So that's why I said what I said. It's right here in the reports, dog. So when y'all come here just saying anything, bro, like, come on, man. Like, let's just be real, bro. Let's just be real, bro. First of all, it's some of the worst accusations known to mankind. Some of the worst accusations known to mankind. For them to arrest this dude, they had to have some type of evidence to arrest. Now, whether the evidence is strong or not, we'll see. But they had to have some type of evidence. We don't even know if it was a sting. Well, I don't think it was a sting because they wouldn't even use her. But we don't know if somebody snitched. I'm just saying. Right? All I knew was, and I'm going to say this again, when I watched the episode on No Jumper and I seen Eddie Winslow on No Jumper with this person, at first, when I first looked, I didn't think anything because I saw the screenshot of just the interview because I never knew this person before. When I watched that interview with this dude with Darius McCray, I threw up. I never respected Darius McCray ever again. I threw up, bro, because that interview was insane. And when I listened to that interview, I was like, man, ain't no way in hell, man. Like, come on, man. Eddie Winslow, bro. So, and that made me think different of Eddie Winslow forever, bro. So because I never watched this person before. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have, like I said, it's nothing against, whatever. It's just me personally, right? Right? So now to hear about these charges, bro, this is some of the worst stuff you can ever be accused of, bro. This is some of the worst stuff you could ever be accused. Hold on, somebody said she did. Hold on, y'all. This is the same person that accused Chingy? Don't tell me that, y'all. I gotta look that up, man. That's the same. You said that's the same person. You said she did Chingy wrong. Yo, Chingy got his whole career effed up over those allegations. Hold on, but that was the person right here? Yo, y'all gotta stop that, man. Damn. I gotta look that up, bro. I gotta confirm that, man. Wow, this person, man. Bro, remember Chingy's career went down the drain, bro, when those allegations came out. Chingy was on the rise. I'll never forget that era. When those allegations came out, game over. And that shit, y'all saying that shit was fake? Bro, I gotta go look that up. I never knew it was fake, bro. Damn. Bro, that's messed up if that's true, bro. But yeah, so if these charges are true, bro, this dude gonna face the rest of his life in prison, bro. Like 25 to life. Straight up, bro. I don't see a judge having sympathy. In fact, I can see a judge hitting this dude with 40 years based off that. 40 years. Damn, bro. Hold on, but what was the lie about, y'all? Like, hold on, let me see, man. Hold on, I gotta pull this up, man. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. I gotta pull this up. Well, I'll be damned. Sidney Starr, it says, falsely accused rapper Chingy of having a romantic and sexual relationship with her. A lie that she later admitted to inventing entirely for fame. That's fucked up, bro. That shit destroyed his career. He lost a record deal. He was blackballed in the industry. Damn, bro. Karma's a mofo, man. Karma is a mofo, bro. I told y'all that karma come back and get you. God, dog. Now, this dude facing life in prison now. That's crazy. How karma come back and get you. It says right here that Chingy lost his record deal and he was blackballed throughout the industry. Damn. Bro, and Chingy didn't sue this person? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Chingy didn't sue? Saying they fabricated a story, apologized to Chingy. Damn, bro. Bro, that's messed up, man. Yo, that ain't right, bro. I ain't know this was a person, y'all. Y'all telling me some news today. That ain't right, bro. I'm reading it right now. That ain't right, bro. That ain't right. That shit wrong, bro. That's not right, bro. You don't do that shit to nobody, bro. That ain't right, bro. That ain't right, man. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all. That shit ruined Chingy's career, bro. Didn't nobody, bro, I stopped listening to Chingy after that. That shit ruined Chingy's whole career. Chingy had so much momentum. At that time, him, Nelly, all of them. Bro, that shit was crazy. Bro, and now, Chingy got to be somewhere like, yeah, now this person facing life in prison, y'all. That's crazy. That I told y'all, that karma gonna come back around to get you, man. It's always gonna come back around to get you at some point in time. Now imagine if this person gets life in prison now. That's wild, bro. That's wild, bro. You know what I mean? And then you see all this stuff. And think about this, y'all. If these allegations are true, which we don't know if it's true or not, but you know, he's being charged. If this is true, do we think this is the first time? Like, that's wild, man. That's wild, man. That's wild, man. You know what I'm saying? That's unbelievable, man. And that's why, see, that's another reason why I don't be respecting that shit. Like, you allow on a dude like that, though? Like, don't y'all know them the worst type? Them shit that end somebody's whole, like, bro, that's crazy, man. That's crazy, bro. Chingy was blackballed. Remember how he fell off right after that? Bro, I ain't never listened to Chingy again after that. So the person who said that I didn't know it was a dude. No, I'm not saying. I said I didn't know who this person was. That's what I'm saying, dog. I never followed this person, right? The only time I saw this person was one day I was watching No Jumper, and No Jumper had Eddie Winslow with a girl on the interview. And so I clicked on the interview to see what Eddie Winslow was talking about. And I said, man, who the hell is this girl he got on here with him? And then as I was listening to the No Jumper interview, Man, I found out, man, that's a whole man. I said, man, what? Bro, I couldn't believe it. That's when I found out. And I heard, but I didn't even know that this person had all that shit going on with Chingy. I didn't even know this. I thought it was a whole different situation. They're saying this is the same person. Then I looked it up. It's the same person, bro. That's wild, bro. And now you facing life in prison? I told y'all, man, that karma ain't no joke, man. People be thinking that shit is a game, bro. That karma is not no joke. Karma is not nothing to play with, y'all. That karma is real, right? So, you know, if he or she did this, they should be in prison with the rest of their life. Straight up. And that's another reason why y'all be getting mad at celebrities and celebrities be avoiding pictures with people, bro. Bro, that's the worst thing you can do is take pictures with people, bro. Because if you took a picture with somebody just out of the blue, right? They can say, look, y'all, I was in this. Because somebody could just take a random picture and say, yo, I know this person, we was doing this. And you might not even know that person. They might just took a random picture with you and that's it. But if you take a picture with somebody like that, and then they turn around and say that you had sex with them and they was a tranny, like, come on, bro. Like, bro, man. Dog, man. Dog, man. Dog, man. That's wild, bro. That's wild, man. And nigga lied for no reason. That should be a crime, yo. Not only should that be a crime, I don't know why Chingy didn't sue this person. Chingy should have sued this person. Right? I don't care if you ain't got nothing. I'm gonna break you down to where you ain't never gonna have nothing. See, some people think if you sue somebody and they ain't got shit, that it don't mean nothing. Nah, if they sue you and win, that means you'll never be able to get nothing. You won't be able to file bankruptcy. They'll be able to prevent that in most cases. You won't be able to hide money in any of your accounts because they'll get drained, right? Any money you work for and you make legally on any job, it'll be taken out your check and sent directly to the people that. So again, like, people like her or him or whatever, I'd have sued the man. Ain't no fucking way, bro. Chingy should have been all over that from the very beginning. See, Chingy, to me, he didn't react the right way. He should have came out immediately and filed a lawsuit. This is the reason why you file lawsuits on shit like that, bro. Because they said he was dropped by his record label. I'm reading the report right here. Bro, that's messed up, man. That's some messed up shit. But now, see how God worked? This person facing life in prison now. Life in prison. With a minimum of 25 years in prison if convicted on one of those first two charges I told y'all. That's wild, man. So, salute everybody tapping in. Y'all make sure y'all check the next video. I'm going to put the link in the comment section, pin at the top, that we did this morning. Man, this is crazy, bro. Boy, that karma came back. That karma hit different, don't it? This person facing a minimum of 25 years to life in prison, y'all. The charges are this. Here go the charges right here for y'all who don't know what the charges are. All right. Those are the charges right there. Those three charges. You can see them right there in the bottom of your screen. I don't want to repeat it. Again, y'all know how I roll, man. I don't play around with the youth, man. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? You said you sorry you believe Sidney. Believe Sidney about what? And I told y'all, man, like I said, man, I don't even look at like Eddie Winslow, the way I saw him on the show. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I always be telling y'all, they can make you think anything you want to think about somebody on a TV show because they just acting. But how they move in real life, though? See what I'm saying? How they move in real life, though? Because like I told y'all, in real life, Eddie wasn't macking the honeys. Like, he was doing this. In real life, right? Carl Winslow, I heard he ain't got no family. I heard he ain't married. He ain't got no family in real life. But on the TV show, Carl is a cop. You know what I'm saying? American family, all this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Father, kids, wife. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Like, share, subscribe. Check the link in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And check the link at the top of the comments and watch the next video, y'all. Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.